Netflix has stepped in it again, and this time it's with a movie called Cuties. And this is a movie about 11-year-old girls in a twerk dancing team. 11-year-old girls. Now, I'm sure everybody here knows what twerking is. I don't have to explain that to you. It is not ballet, let's just put it that way. This is not jazz or tap or any kind of traditional dance. Twerking is hyper-sexualized. And they're putting it's a French movie, so of course this comes from the French. And they're pushing it as a coming-of-age film. It just reeks of everything inappropriate with our society today. And people wonder, that we're always called conspiracy theorists when we talk about the pedophile problem among the rich and powerful, not just in political circles and Hollywood, in business, just all of the rich and powerful. There's a lot of us who believe that pedophilia is a massive problem. And so many in the mainstream media and those who just parrot the mainstream media love to bash us and call us conspiracy theorists. Meanwhile, they're putting out movies, and just wait till you see the poster. I almost don't want to show it to you guys, but I mean, it was really the crux of this whole argument. So this is from Variety. Netflix apologizes for inappropriate Cuties posters slammed for sexualizing little girls. Netflix has apologized for and withdrawn a poster for its upcoming coming-of-age drama Cuties. The artwork for the French-language film depicted 4 adolescent girls wearing revealing cheerleading outfits and posing, this says posting, but I think it means posing, provocatively, drawing backlash on social media for sexualizing little girls. The Parent Television Council implored Netflix remove the film, rated M, from its site. It's bad enough that they're making a coming-of-age film about prepubescent girls, or pubescent girls, I don't know, it's right in that tween range, that is for adult audiences, especially one where the subject nature is them engaging in very provocative and sexually themed dances. So this is from Sister Outrider. And you can see the poster here. I mean, it's as Michael Knowles said, it's catnip for pedophiles. Absolute catnip for pedophiles. So, Sister Outrider says, it's so revealing that the first major Netflix original to center young black girls hinges on explicitly sexualizing 11-year-old children. Whether it's acting or music, a sexualized image is too often the price of mainstream success for black women and girls. Disgraceful. This is not a black issue. I am so sick and tired of this intersectionality where even something where everybody from the left and the right are coming together to say this is disgusting, this should never have happened, what are you thinking? There are still people out there that have to make it about race. The description for the movie here says, Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. Hollywood has for years sought to subvert traditional family values. And in this movie, the girl is Muslim, which you normally don't see Muslim values subverted because more often than not, they like to wrap up traditional values, family values, with Western values in Western society. And they like to undermine that. That's why we have, a slew of... We have so many movies about the dark and seedy side of suburbia. Movies like American Beauty and Suburbia. And there's just countless movies that are like that go to show, oh, everything's not all good in suburbia. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Matt Walsh says, Netflix has a movie called Cuties about 11-year-olds in a twerking dance crew. Some of the reviews claim it is a commentary on the sexualization of children, but this is the poster. And keep in mind that the lead actress is actually 11 years old in the film and in real life. So the actresses, the young female actresses, actually had to be put through this whole the photo shoot. I haven't seen the movie and I will not see the movie, so I don't know what they had to go through in the filming of the movie in terms of sexually explicit material. I'm sure there is plenty of that because it's a movie about them being in a twerk crew, so I'm sure there was plenty of them having to dance provocatively. But this is just awful. This is awful. So Alicia says, WTF is this, Netflix? And I'm not gonna play the trailer. Eliza here says, I'm supportive of the arts. I want the stars of Netflix Cuties to reach for every star in the sky. That being said, I cannot support allowing children to be portrayed in a way that is overly sexualized. How about not sexualized at all? They're 11. From Naginder Padmaja Chanpreet. Dear Netflix, this is an utterly deranged. Yes. Please explain how this got made and why you think it's okay to sexualize young girls. I guess this is a lot of... So I opened Netflix and this promotion popped up. Cuties is about an 11-year-old Muslim girl pursuing her dream in a dance group, defying her parents' values. When you call a movie Cuties and promote it like this, that's sexualizing 11-year-old kids. Yes. Hit the nail on the head there. Looks like blatantly sexualizing kids, right? Yep. Absolutely is. Kyle Mann says, I don't do the boycott thing, and I think it's a little silly to consume art only from people you agree with, but at Destiny for Christ and I did finally just cancel Netflix. Cuties was just the straw that broke the camel's back. They've been bugging me for a while now. And this is not the first time that Netflix has done something like this or gone off this pedophilic range. They put out that TV series that got canceled after one season starring RuPaul called AJ and the Queen, I believe it was called. And that was about a 10-year-old kid who goes on tour with a drag queen. Thank God that didn't do well and got canceled after one season. Because, again, there are people, we've seen in our culture the child drag queens being brought out. And you can only think, of course I never watched that show, so I am, these are all conjectures here. You can only think that show promoted the idea of child drag queens. I mean, they've had that even on Good Morning America. They had that Desmond is Amazing kid. And there was also videos of that Desmond is Amazing kid hanging out with Michael, starts with an A, I forget his name. They made a movie called Party Monster, starring Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green, about this guy, Michael something. He was a gay club promoter in the 1980s who lived that super flamboyant 80s club lifestyle, and he murdered his drug dealer and went to prison for a number of years and loved prison because he got all the sex and drugs he could possibly want in prison. Well, there's videos of this Desmond is Amazing kid hanging out with that guy, and behind them is a painting that says Rohypnol on it, which is the date rape drug. And in the video, this Desmond is Amazing kid looked like he was nodding off while hanging out with this guy who was the gay 80s club promoter who went to prison for murder. And they're sitting there talking about roofies and all kinds of stuff, or ketamine. I forget what it was they were talking about, to be honest. It was just disturbing. Desmond is Amazing's parents need to be in prison. That child is going to grow up with so many problems. And Netflix made that show, AJ and the Queen, promoting that direction of our culture. They also have that animated show called Big Mouth, which I watched a couple episodes of it, or I checked it out thinking that it was going to be a funny cartoon because it has a lot of comedians that I like and a lot of big names. I know like Nick Kroll is in it, and which, I was a big fan of The League, and he was Ruxin on The League, although I didn't realize he was the son of Jules Kroll, who essentially founded the private CIA, Kroll and Associates. So I'm sure there's some shady stuff going on with that family. But anyways, I know I'm on a tangent here. But Big Mouth is about a bunch of pubescent teens. It's an animated show, and there's episodes where they're all naked together. They do sexual acts. I mean, it's disgusting. And I don't know how they get away with that. Maybe because it's animated, but Netflix does not seem to have an aversion towards the exploitation of children. And we can see here that this was floating around. This was from Netflix customer service. Now, I can't verify 100% whether this is real or not. It does look real. It does look like a screen capture. I mean, everything looks like it lines up, and with the screen lines from the screen. Somebody took a picture of it. Looks like they took a picture of it with their phone. Of course, it could have been doctored before they took the picture. I don't know, but either way. So this person says, how does a movie sexualizing children get approved? Who signed off on this? Netflix responds, we understand that not all stories may appeal to all of our viewers, which is why we always invest in a diverse range of content from all over the world. We also provide ratings, synopsis, trailers, and controls to help our members make the right choice for themselves and their families. Person responds, do you support pedophilia? A simple yes or no would suffice. They responded, we cannot really comment on that, but while we believe in creative freedom, at Netflix we respect all religions and their cultures, traditions, and values. So something doesn't... I still can't tell whether this is real or not, to be honest. There is something about it that doesn't quite add up. I mean, it does look authentic. I don't know how the Netflix customer service formats, but you decide for yourself. So going back to Variety, they did apologize, saying, we're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Mignone/Cuties, a Netflix spokesperson said in a statement to Variety. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which premiered at Sundance. We've now updated the pictures and the description. Cuties won the World Cinematic Dramatic Directing Award at the Sundance Film Festival in January. Of course it did. Of course it did. They try to give these film festival awards as a way to legitimize what really is not should not be legitimized. But really all it does is reflect on Hollywood and the people that create these movies and the critics that aspire to these. Anybody who spends any time on Rotten Tomatoes sees that anything that is subversive and challenges any kind of conservative or traditional American values always gets a lot of Rotten Tomatoes. It's always funny because you can usually tell what's going to be a good movie by what has a high audience score and a low critic score. If it has a low critic score and a high audience score, you know it's probably going to be a kick-ass movie. One example that comes to mind for that is the movie Peppermint with Jennifer Garner. And I don't take critics seriously, but I do often check Rotten Tomatoes just to see what people are saying about a movie before I decide which one I want to watch. And when I saw that on Peppermint and I saw all of the Rotten Tomatoes on it were all because they didn't like the fact that the Mexican cartels were displayed negatively. It was so ridiculous, but it had a really high audience score. Watched it, and it wasn't a great movie, but it was certainly entertaining. So it's not a surprise to me that some sort of perverted movie would come out and they would find some sort of critical theory aspect to look at it through, some sort of critical theory lens to view the movie through, and not the way that most Americans would actually look at it. Because they think they're just so much more highbrow than we are. No. They like trash. And they hate on everything that just common Americans tend to like. So, it won the World Cinematic Dramatic Directing Award at the Sundance Film Festival in January. The film follows 11-year-old Senegalese immigrant Amy, played by Fathia Yusuf, who upsets her Muslim mother by opting to join the Cuties, a quartet of scantily dressed girls who rehearse dances after school. Maimouna Gouai plays Amy's mom. with 3 kids and her husband bringing home a second wife. What is going on with this movie? She has her plate full. The film, directed by Maimouna Dukour. I had never heard the name Maimouna before, and now we have it twice in 2 paragraphs. Interesting. Currently has an 82% fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder what the audience score is. Netflix recently began promoting the movie ahead of its release on the platform September 9th. Amy Nicholson gave Cuties a positive review for Variety at Sundance. Oh, so Variety here. You guys gave it a positive review. Newcomer Yusuf has an anchoring presence. All right, I don't really care about the critics' review. Let's see. The movie just opened in theaters. Is being distributed by Back Films in an interview with the film's website. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Cuties delivered as an uncompromising portrait of an 11-year-old girl plunged in a world that imposes a series of dictates on her. Now, I mean, it is complicated because we do live in a world now where social media is driving girls to exploit themselves. I mean, you see all of these Instagram models, which is, I don't even like using Instagram. For one, I always found it clunky. I never really liked it. That's why if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I don't really post all that much. It's just not it's not a platform that really appeals to me. But we've got all the TikTok teenage dancing videos. I will never have TikTok, so I have no idea if those, are inappropriate or what. I stay away from that. I'm not going to have my phone hacked by the Chinese, for one. And also, I don't want to watch 15-second videos. I like long-form content that actually delivers a message and says things. I don't want to watch kids do some silly fucking dance. So a critically acclaimed young director, Dukour previously helmed the short film Mamans, which won Sundance Jury Prize and the Caesar Award for Best Short Film. Earlier this year, Dukour received the Academy Gold Fellowship for Women, a prize given as part of the Academy Women's Initiative. Yeah, Hollywood is all about their imposed diversity now, where they're just handing out opportunities for women and minorities and slamming the door on white males' faces. And I say that because I live in Hollywood and I work in the film industry. I'm not sure how much longer I want to work in the film industry. In fact, I've probably torched any chances I have of being successful in the film industry. Now, I've never mentioned this on any of my videos before because I'm not trying to look like I'm trying to promote anything. But I actually do have a Ram Thorburn movie. And it's a motorcycle movie called Dreamland Exiles, where it's like think Easy Rider, but where the counterculture is conservatism. So I don't want to go off and talk about that, but that is something that it's kind of the last thing that I'm holding on to here in Hollywood is trying to get that movie made, and it would have to go through kind of outside Hollywood channels. But anyways, this just shows how disgusting Hollywood really is. And Netflix especially, I'm thinking I might have to cancel my Netflix because this is, there is some stuff on Netflix that I like to watch, and they do put out some good movies. Like, I thought that Triple Frontier was pretty good and some stuff like that, Stranger Things. Stranger Things was a way you make something that is both for kids and adults and does it well, That's how you do it. You don't do it like this. You don't do it like Cuties. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Share it. I know a lot of this has been all over, so this probably isn't breaking news for most of you. But also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Parler at Ram Thorburn. And if you are interested in contributing to the channel, there are links to my Subscribestar, Patreon, and PayPal down in the description below. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day.